Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we are going to be jamming at the Standard Metagame Challenge, one of my favorite events on the client. So how this works is you pay 2,000 gold to enter, or 400 gems. If you get to 7 wins, you win 30 packs and 5,000 gold. You basically play till you lose a game. And even if you just lose the first, you get 500 gold. The break even is about 2 wins, where you basically net a pack for 500 gold, which you get like 2,500 worth of value in a way for 2,000. So it's not terrible. It's usually a distribution of standard legal packs. That'll come in this particular one here. So today we're actually going to use this time to test. I am going to be playing in an RCQ regional qualifier for next weekend. And I am going to be playing Gruul Delirium or Jeskai Convoke. It's a team trios, so we're playing a team event. So Pioneer, Modern, Standard. I'm the Standard seat. And we're kind of combining collection, myself and my friends. So I can't just jam Gruul Prowess, which I normally like. Instead, we're kind of going with options. So I do have a sideboard guide for the Gruul deck that we are playing right here. I will share it in the link. Note that this is kind of the iteration that I'm looking at right now. There's some considerations in the sideboard guide. There's a whole bunch of questions I actually have at the bottom. As I was mapping out these matchups, just things I want to test over the weekend to see how it works, if I want to change some stuff, and just seeing like overall where I am with things. So this is an adaptation of one of the lists that was going around Arena for a while. We saw it on Untapped. Generally plays Wrenn and Realmbreaker as a Planeswalker threat here. Planeswalker type for the mana base, but two things. One, there's a lot of flyers in Dimir, like the tempo decks. It's very easy to attack Wrenn. Doesn't protect itself. You can make a land animated, but on curve it doesn't, because it doesn't untap the land. You don't usually want to block mono red with your lands because you kind of want your lands. And then secondary, I just didn't want to spend like 60 bucks on a play set of them here in Canada, which I'm never going to play those cards again. So at least the Screaming Nemesis are in that spot. It's a strong kind of card here. So the core of the deck is getting Delirium. You want to put cards into your graveyard. So you can draw discard with fear of missing out. You have Patchwork Beastie. You have the Explorer off Sinote Scout. You have Breakout that can put cards into play and then counts as a sorcery. So it's not like dedicated, I'm going to self-mill heavily. It's kind of setting up your graveyard in a way to have Delirium. A couple cards that don't normally see play but I'm liking are Paw Patch Recruit. It's a nice one drop if needed, but oftentimes I'll play it on 3, giving me 2 bodies, lets me make my things bigger. They have Trample as well, which can be reasonable. So that's something I'm testing out here. Keen-Eye Curator has been pretty solid for me. It's a card that is mainboard graveyard hate against the Terror decks, so they don't necessarily see that coming. Or you can control them a little bit. It's nice against the This Town Ain't Big Enough loops with the talent, because you can exile whatever they try to get back. So you get some value there. Itself only needs to have like Delirium exiled under it, not necessarily 4 cards. So you can exile, say, a Wildfire Wickerfolk. It counts as 2 types for this. It becomes a 7/7 with Trample, which can push through a lot of surprise damage. The all-star card in the deck that people just, I oftentimes find that they don't even know exists maybe, or just never play around, is Violent Urge. So by its base, it's just +1 and gains first strike. So you could kind of win combat maths at times. But the big thing is Delirium. It gains double strike if you have Delirium, and oftentimes I'll just win the game on the spot there. There's some removal, Torch the Tower and Scorching Dragonfire. Both are exile based. Both can scale to 3 damage, hit stuff like Glissa, all the Curiosities, stuff of that nature. There is a thought I'm having of having Obliterating Bolt in the main instead of this. You lose the instant speed ability, but it deals 4 damage, so it deals with Preachers. It's also a sorcery. You have a higher density of instants in the deck, where sorceries, you only have the breakout as sorceries, so that's something to keep in mind. Other than that, just some protection with Snakeskin Veil, a couple Restless Ridgeline in the mana base. The sideboard, and like I said, there's a sideboard guide of where I'm at initially. I'll keep updating that as we go through with both the list and kind of considerations. Obliterating Bolt, 4 damage removal. Pyroclasm for the aggressive go-wide decks. A lot of our stuff has 3 toughness, so it stays alive, which is nice. So you kind of play around that. Paw Patch Formation, 3 of, dealing with enchantments, flyers. A really good card. I have 1 Pick Your Poison, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're just on the 4th Paw Patch once all is said and done. Barrage for the Terror decks, just a flexible card here. Urbrass Forge for the grindier matchups. I like it a little bit more than against Dimir than like Nemesis and stuff like that. And then I just wanted something for Shieldred, so I have Witchstalker Frenzies. I don't think Scorching Shot's consistent enough for us to cast on curve, given that we're playing 5 forests. And we have a bunch of green cards in the deck, so that is where we're at with the deck. Like I said, it is subject to change, but you can find it on my Untap to see the latest versions, and I'll be updating this sideboard guide as we go along. So let's jump into these games, folks. So hope we do well. A lot of it, like I said, I want to test. The biggest thing I want to get from this, obviously winning the packs is really cool, but I want to get reps with the deck and then just try to really refine kind of those miscellaneous slots. A card that I'm not 100% sold on right now is Breakout. I was thinking doing Say Its Name and Alternac as an idea there. Breakout's been okay, but it's not like the best. One of the downsides with Breakout is you don't get the value post sideboard because you usually have a more dense deck. I think this hand's fine. Tap blind, get it out of the way. Notably, I can't go Curator on 2, but I could do Breakout here. It'll put a sorcery into my graveyard. I can also... This is a starter deck. I'm gonna do this first. The nice thing with this deck too is you have a bunch of artifacts, or like, so Go for the Throat doesn't work. Convectioner. Whenever you sacrifice food, I think that's fine for now. Gonna exile this. I want to try to get Delirium on board as quick as possible. Okay, so I have Sinnoh Scout. That could hit me a land. I also have... I could get... No, I can't necessarily get Delirium on this turn. I think we get rid of a Violent Urge. Perfect. So we would have hit the land there, but I think just playing it safe. Another Breakout's probably fine. I could get maybe another Fear of Missing Out and then set it up. Well, actually, I forgot. I should have binned it because Patchwork is going to mill it anyways. Okay, so if that's the case, I'm not going to mill with Patchwork here. A lot of removal there, which is fine. Let's just start getting hasters. So I think here... Get rid of Keen Eye. Fortress pretty nice here. So see how they block here. Perfect. Violent Urge with Double Strike. They'll kill it. So we got a good chunk of damage in on them. I have something to haste out and I could kill one of their creature. They do have 6 life that they have here, so that's something to keep in mind. So this just creates food tokens. They're like a scavenge, kind of almost a theme deck, if you would. Let's break out here. I'm gonna wait because if we draw another Fear of Missing Out, then we didn't want to discard. So they do have to decide how they want to. This line does cost 4. It's a little bit more expensive compared to the other Restless So that's, I think we just push for lethal here. They might have the removal, they could just gain life, but this pushes the most damage. So it's actually kind of funny. This deck playing just like a weird removal spell over Go For Your Throat is a lot better against our deck. Easy kill here, we get the exile, and then we win that way there. Okay. So not on the sideboard guide is Golgari, whatever this is. I think in this matchup, let's go Forges, go Royal Treatment. I think we're going to do the Paw Patches. Pyroclasm is interesting. So what we saw creature-wise, that's a 2/3. Saw the Monstrosity, probably not. Screaming Nemesis is, well, interesting against, like, the food component of the game. It's not the best, I think. I think we trim a Violent Urge. So this is where I'm at with things. With the Breakout, it gets worse post-board because you're bringing in, like, you have fewer creatures. Like, we're only at 21. So we could trim a couple of those. Probably trim a... Probably don't play Pick Your Poison since it doesn't go targeted. So I think we do it like this. This isn't too bad because they have a lot of targeted removal, so we have some utility there. I think the Forge is a grindier element. The Exile removal is fine. The Double Strike could be fine. This will also give us a plan if they eat away at our graveyard. The one thing I need to see too is if they have recurable ways to control our graveyard consistently, or if they play, like decks play Rest in Peace, you have to get off the Patchwork Beastie. These Verges are killing me this game. This would be such a good keep. I still think we keep it. Because if we draw the land, it's pretty good. I'm probably going to bin the Patchwork here. Because if I could have done this on one. I mean, this is the one I care least if they kill. So let's do this. If they just do Convectioner, I can also... I think that's worth just killing here. It just lets me, because like my next turn is going to be Forge. Just get this going. And then just try to outpace them, kind of control their board, go from there. So this isn't like a tier deck that we're playing against. Game one is usually be a mixed bag starter deck. So sacrifice it, gets +2/2. Keep it open. I think we could kill this now, but I'm not too concerned with this right now. They got to keep mana up to activate it. Okay, so opponent is giving us a ton of counters. Let's just protect here, get a really big board. Alright, they've had enough. So that one was pretty easy, not really a deck that we would normally run into, but we could see where the deck pushes through a whole bunch of damage. See if we could play against a tier deck. You know, it's kind of 50-50. Like normally you're like, yeah, I play against a budget deck, 3 wins. But then when you're actually testing, I would rather lose against a good deck just to get kind of experience with the deck. So play first is nice. Beastie seems reasonable. Beastie letting you have a card out on 1 without playing into cut down is strong. Like there's no 1 mana removal on the play that works. Next turn, depending on what they play out, Golgari probably gotta kill the elves here. We're just gonna shove here. They go Glissa, they go Glissa. I'd rather kill this. So here, let's land instant. So exile there. That would be 10, 13. So we'll wait till next turn with the double strike. Because depending what they play, I could protect it from some removal. Mildred's fine. So we also have Torch. Should win this turn. Okay, so that's 10. We'll do this. Okay, so that's 5 and then 5. I didn't want to show them Snakeskin Veil in the main, just so that way they don't play around it. So this version here, I think it's the creature heavier version. So my thoughts were add in re-obliterating bolt or 2 obliterating bolts. Add in the royal treatment. Add in the Witch Stalkers and the Frenzies. Take out a Keen-Eyed Curator since it doesn't really attack well. Take out some breakouts. Take out the Screaming Nemesis. And I think take out... Let's do 1 Violent Urge. And so I kind of want Torch the Tower. It gives me some action early. It might just be the Keen-Eyed Curator here. Just, it dies to kind of the common removal. Doesn't attack well into like Glissa still. Paw Patch is fine, depending on how much they go at it. I do like these just as kind of a combo kill, especially with Royal Treatment. Torch is fine. Blithering Bolt, Scorching Dragonfire is something we probably still want. What's my creature count? 20. Let's just take out another breakout. I think a single breakout is fine. The question is, would we rather just the creature threat? Could be interesting. Could play... We didn't see Annex yet. If they have Annex or if they have Demons, then we'll bring in Paw Patch. But I think if they're on Shieldred main with the Llanowar, they're typically just on the creature heavier version. A lot of the lists have cut the Annex. This is something we want to see as we play out the games. One land with an Explore. Do we keep? Probably not. Should have kept the other hand. I have 2 draw steps. Worst draw we could have got. Give me a red land. Give me a red land. Red land 1 time. Red land 1 time. Nobody plays Lily anymore.
When I win, you're telling me.
Okay, red land, gimme Forge.
Must be made.
Magic. At this point, I just want to get information.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
I mean, they're setting me up for Delirium. Land acquired. That going. I think it's get rid of Dragonfire here. I mean, the other line is get rid of Wickerfolk. Get rid of Snakeskin. Jelly. Should have kept Snakeskin. I thought I had the requisite mana. Head here.
Watch it.
Hand obviously didn't come together there. Missed too many line drops. I think we're just running it back here. Maybe shouldn't have shown the Snakeskin. Makes them play around things a little different, but I don't think mulling to 5 against Golgari is correct. I mean, it's bad if we draw other lands. We're getting just killed on these mulligans. Like, I think that's fine to mulligan. It might have been okay to keep. We had 2 spells. Thank you. Obviously would have preferred Violent Urge there. We have Torch. I have Keen-Eyed here. We're just doing this. So if we looked at that other hand, I would have had Dragonfire for their elf into a Forge here, but Forge wouldn't have done too much. We go Shelly here. I can attack with 2. Soulstone. So they might be on the Annex still. Do I have an instant? I think we wait and see how we do this. Taking the damage here. Have this. That's 8, 9 if they don't block. I mean, the only way I win this is with them messing up a block here. Short there, it's just kind of annoying. This one's frustrating. I'm just thinking, like, obviously we were kind of limited with the maul. We could have played out Keen-Eyed first. We didn't see this the first few games, so we didn't have the right removal. But they did also turn 2 Preacher, turn 3 Shieldred, turn 4 Annex, and we almost still won on a mulligan. Cut down there, I don't care about cut down. I don't have green mana. So they're just dead. This is 7. They can't math! Alright. Failed successfully. Failed successfully. It might be that we need all the violent urges. Seems like the best card to just steal games. All right. Domain, the very slow hand. Realistically, this is probably better than most stuff, so we'll take it. Could be Oculus. Could just be control. There's value into holding this, but my feeling is if this is Oculus, then I want this on 3. And this getting into the graveyard already counts as 2 types. Yeah, so it is Oculus. Don't have the draw. Okay. They could have a bounce effect here. Just in case they have recommission. Truth. We do have to be mindful of Oculus. That's going to be very hard for us to beat. Do they have... Hit me for 9 here, potentially. That Into the Flood Maw was really good tempo. I mean, they're gonna Oculus me anyways. They have Soul Partition, they have Double Helping Hand. Like, Keen Eye is really nice because it gives you that main board hate. Instant Sorcery. In a pinch, I can also hit Enchantment Creature and then have a 7/7 that might surprise win. Okay, we also hit some lands that we can take, but not going to be as good. I could Paw Patch Kick. Have another Into the Flood Maw removal, it's going to be tough. I think I gotta control the graveyard because 7, 10, 12, it's not enough to kill them. Saga is also an enchantment. I think we eat one more. I guess 2 lets us play around. But in case they have a way to reanimate, I don't think it makes too much difference, so... Because I could get to 6, which takes them off 2 turn, but it's very easily that they'll be able to get us here. I just want to have 1 up in case they're able to, like, try to helping hand turn. Looks like Oculus coming in. Smartly left. Wildfire. I'm not gonna get the trample. Yeah. Gotta get there. Oh. So we made the right call seeing what we wanted to hit. So this matchup, I want Lithos, I want Bolts. Don't think I want Nemesis. Pick your poison. Paw Patch. Frenzy could be reasonable. Treatment. I'm just adding a bunch of stuff. I didn't make a sideboard guide for this deck because it's largely fallen out of favor. I think we're taking out breakouts. Dragonfire doesn't do much. Torch doesn't do much. And maybe one Urge. I mean, I gotta probably, let's take out, do it like that. They never respect the keen eye. That seems reasonable. Obviously no graveyard hate. One thing that I'm considering in this deck is having a, whatchamacallit, Ghost Vacuum. No more Cenote. Force them to sack this, but I think we need to save this for their actual threats. Omo's not bad. But I want protection. You want to hit another land. Instant creature. I have Oculus. Fortunately, I can't kill Oculus. Ooh, they went Haughty. That's nice. They don't have the recommission either. That. Again, because I don't have other answers for it, I didn't want to just blow that up. Exiling is also super relevant here. Bloodmon to the graveyard's nice. Sorcery. Sacrifices creature with flying. Instant sorcery creature. I don't want him to just trade with that, and I kind of want to keep the snake skin, so let me see what they do here. Wish I could have cast Kenai. I think we're just FOMOing here. I would have loved to bin that. Fine. Play around their counterspell here. I mean, if they have split up, they have split up. I can't beat that, so it doesn't matter. Just gonna start eating Oculus here. Ooh, that's annoying. And they hit multiple, so they have the helping hand. And they hit the second Oculus, which is annoying. Land? Top Hatch isn't terrible. It gains them some life. I mean, I think I still need to go Curator here. Unless I play this, get an extra combat next turn, that might be the way I win. Because they're low enough on life. The other alternative is a Curator to try to get that 7 damage in. That might be it. That's been quite annoying. Recommission here. We got Oculus. One more mana and we're saved there. I just gotta push damage. Set up for next turn. Because my concern is they have a removal spell. So if they have a removal spell, I can't turn it on without doing 3, which then lets me play it again next turn. They could flip that. Go to damage. Play out these for the following turn. Oculus makes one more body. But then I push through, I have a little bit more. I have the paw patches, which then can let me redistribute. So I think we just let this go. It was split up, so good to know for the following game. I guess the question, do I play around and just eat their graveyard here? Okay, so we ended up, we would have won if we just went for it. Would have won. Graveyard, so I have artifact, creature. Instant. Sorcery. Removal spell would be really good here. FOMO's not bad, gives me a redraw. So realistically, so I have 7 here. They block, I'm not pushing through enough. Need to try to find a removal spell here. Good. That is good. Oof. I mean, they could just bring back Oculus. It's still pretty close. No! I'm gonna discard this anyways, so... You hit the split up, what a top deck. One of our creature lands there would have been good. Got him! Whew, that one was close. Alright. I mean, that was multiple turns of Oculus that we were dealing with, which is tough. Alright, so 3 wins, 2,000 gold, 3 packs. Let's just update the record. Give me a sec. Alright, let's jump in it. Jump in it. In it to win it, folks. I mean, if you could get like 4+ wins, it's still solid. You get a return on investment. It's tough to win 7 in a row, so happy to. We realistically have 2 draw steps. Patchwork Beastie I think this hand's worth trying. Now, opponent is the overpowered boss. Dimir. All right, we're punished. We're punished, folks. I mean, it was a somewhat reasonable approach, but now they could have Anoint with Affliction. That's the one removal spell that works here. No! I wanted you land. Thanks, you just turned on my creature. So Cenote Scout here or FOMO. FOMO can help me dig, Cenote Scout can help me dig. I don't think Keen-Eyed is that great. Actually, what's in my graveyard right now? Ooh. So if I put in... No, I have instant creature. So putting Keen-Eyed... Oh, sorcery would be in there too, so I would have Delirium. So I get an extra combat step. Just gonna punch through a bunch of damage here. That's like our... We stumbled a couple turns. They usually play 3 Anoint with Afflictions, so if they don't have it, I might be able to just win this turn. Anointing out another could be reasonable. Let's break out here. So they had the Anoint. I'm gonna cast with Bargain, killing this because I want the Scry here. It also puts the artifact in my graveyard, which is important. So depending what we get next turn, I have FOMO. Just stun counter there.
You're not going anywhere.
Hey, that's nice. That lethal. Well, I believe it is. That's 8, 10. Got there, got there, got there. All right, playing Dimir here is good. My sideboard guide is... I think I like Pyroclasm. They have a lot of cheap creatures. Bring in the Royal Treatment. Bring in the Obliterating Bolts. Bring in Forge. And then 1 Frenzy. So I don't think this is... Like, it could kill Kaido, but their big creatures are usually black. Nemesis doesn't do much here. Sinnoh Scout seemed pretty bad, so I was cutting that. And then this at least gets counters. It's good against Dimir because they do a lot of targeted removal. And then my other thought was Breakout, because we are cutting down on creatures. We're only at 19. So I'd cut the Breakouts here. The question is, do I want like another Witch Stalker in here? It could go down another Sinnoh Scout, which is kind of like the worst of them. There's also Keen-Eyed Curator, which it's not bad, it's not good. I think I'd rather have the Frenzy. Now, alternatively, I could do something like Paw Patch Formation for their flyers, but their flyers are pretty small ball. They don't really play enchantments. They don't play, if like we see something like Aclazots maybe, but that's not really something we see that often anymore. And then we have Obliterating Bolt for it and Frenzy. So I think we ship it like this. I'm very happy how this is turning out so far. This hand is good. Again, just dodging most of the common removal is important in this format. Oh, I do need to kill that, I think, with Kaido on top. Actually, maybe I don't. It's like I can just mill over and kill Kaido. Two mills. I have 2 Delirium here already. I have Sinnoh Scout plus FOMO.
Don't worry, Pom-Pom-chan. I've got this. Your secrets didn't stay hidden for long.
4 loyalty, so even fail safe, I have Obliterating Bolt here. Beautiful. Beautiful! So I could get FOMO going, which seems like the highest upside. Kaido.
Fine. I'll make a new plan.
Want to see what we draw here. Denied. I think, or actually it doesn't matter, because I'm gonna bin it anyways, so I guess the consideration is, do I want to go deeper or just turn that over? It's probably just keeping that on top at this point. They might have Gix command, so I do have to try to kill them this turn. Hey, that's something. So I could try to kill them this turn. I can go for Forge. I think we go Forge here, because they have to respect the Forge. Because even if they Gix command here, then at least I have Forge going. So no Gix this turn. I have Violent Urge. Let's What's my graveyard looking like? Dip it. So we have double strike available, but we're going to let them make the move. In this game, we bet turn 3 Kaido on the play. Do you have the other... What do they do here? So they did that, so then that's double strike lethal. Got him. We had lethal there. Anyways, they were at 7. Oh, actually, no, they took the damage there, so they were at 8. We were 1 off otherwise. So just being patient there, we were able to take it down. So 4-0. 4-0. Getting there. Run it back. All right. 4-0. Let's cash some checks. Cash some checks. Estevam. Double strike is cheat. I like. Golgari. Cool duress. Cool duress. Probably gonna lead on Kenai here since it doesn't die to cut down. Bronco. That's an interesting. They've shown duress already. Ah, oh, that's so much worse. So much worse. Ah, now I gotta take the block. We took a chance there, because if I drew like any of my other better cards, now they're gonna accrue the Bronco here. I'm gonna take some damage. Yikes. I think I just want to get Delirium going here. We're in a bad spot. We took a line that was a little bit risky. I think we're just gonna keep filling the yard for now. This forces them if they want the Dread Knight. Okay, so we see creatures, so they lose Dread Knight here, which isn't bad. Makes Delirium go up if I do it that way. in my yard. Creature. I do need to discard the land, I think. So my thought here, if they kill either of these, it makes Delirium turn on. We're in a bad spot. Like, this is a very heavy creature version of the deck that you don't see that often. Like, Bronco's well out of favor. Same with Sentinel here. I mean, realistically, they'll have a removal spell for this. I can play Kenai. I think we got a FOMO. They kill FOMO. I get rid of Nemesis. I can... Well, drawing these in this matchup isn't the best. That's fine. Because I'll have Delirium next turn. And then if I can get, say, multiple attacks with Screaming Nemesis. Okay, them using a Go for the Throat over a Cut Down is big. And they turned on my Delirium. Thank you. Okay, so let's hope they mess up. We go all in here. I mean, can I get Delirium? They're gonna have like a removal spell here, most likely. They could have Mosswood. I think we just force. I give an extra combat too. Give the cut down. Not. Opting for the pseudo free blocks there. I mean, they're at 8. I do have these ridge lines that can come in as well. There's Mosswood. They have to take some blocks here. Does this give 3/4? Doesn't give trample. They need a removal spell for Nemesis. They run the risk if they try to draw a card. Obviously, they have a 4 power, a 4 toughness. I mean, we've grinded through them pretty well. Drawing triple Nemesis in this matchup's probably not where you want to be on, just because they do have a lot of cheap removal. So it makes it pretty easy for them to interact with us. See my land. Two. Thick. Grinding that out was nice. Okay, so they're a creature heavier version. I don't think I want Nemesis. We do want the Frenzies, Forges, Bolts, all seem reasonable. Pyroclasm, probably not. Royal Treatment, yes. Keen-Eyed Curator is pretty bad in this matchup. What's my creature count? 18. Definitely do want Torch in this matchup. Seems good. I'm probably going to trim some breakouts. I think we trim all the breakouts. Kind of run it like that. One Nemesis, one Keen-Eyed. Could just be a good mana sink late game. Gives us some value. Ship it. So they had a lot of 3-drops there. We didn't see Glissa. I would assume they're on Glissa. Like, it seems like one of the better cards you'd play. I'd rather almost they have Glissa because their Scorching Dragonfire has more targets. But they still will probably have at least 2 Broncos. We didn't see if they're playing up into things like Archfiend. So this card's actually really good in this matchup to the point where I think I'm not going to play it on curve. This is going to be my 3-drop. So that's going to get it. Just deciding which land I'm gonna bin. Which is nice there. Fear of missing out gives Forge extra combats, which is nice. So they have Terra Sunder, they have it. Could be Paw Patch. They have it, they have it. You have it again. Wow. I mean, it's proper to prioritize that early. Being Terra Sunder is extra frustrating. I think I want to hold the Nemesis to the following turn. So I can protect it if we hit a land. I want to get Delirium going. Just land in the yard right now. So that would put Artifact Creature. We're just doing this. no blocks. I think we just try to get the kill here. Milling the land there sucks. Very frustrating game. Them having double Terrace under early hurts us. I think we just have to try to go for a combo kill. Second Violent Urge is nice. So we might be able to kill them through extra combat, which I think we are going to have to. We'll trade here. Might have been wrong. Didn't have enough sheer power there. Go Beastie here. They can make 2 tokens, which is notable, but I have this with potential trample. Another Maelstrom Pulse is a bit annoying. Get to put some counters. Tap out. Tap out. Tap out. Come on, tap out. So realistically, this goes to 4. I can attack into here. Probably makes the most sense. Forces the block. The trample here, they just block there, so it doesn't make sense because they're going to do the 4 block, so. Witchstalker's also interesting. Get rid of... So get rid of this. They block They block. I give double strike. I'm 1 off. How are you gonna block? Okay, so a couple options here because I have the double strike available and I have the Witch Stalkers. So this would give me 10 damage, that's 6, that's 8, so that's lethal. Got there. Got there. Woo. Taking down Golgari a couple times has felt good. 10 packs. How's everybody? Let me know in the chat what you're liking in Standard, what you think of this deck. I got my lucky streaming sweater on. Opponent goes first. I got Nemesis on 2. Let's try this. Went with that first because depending what they were, I might have wanted to Dragonfire. I think we're gonna do this. Pass the turn since this plays around cut down. They can't go for the throated. Also gives me something I could potentially fodder to Glissa. No more lands. Kenai. Kenai might not be bad because it'll bait out some removal that, but then next turn I can do that. So maybe it's just Nemesis this turn, get in my damage. Makes it so they might not necessarily want to play something like a Shieldred. We draw a burn spell, I can target it. That's something worth considering. Soulstone means they're likely on Annex. And that's certainly an annoying one. Breakout here. We do have Delirium. But let's see if we could hit a red source. Bomo's nice the following turn. Is it? Probably not. Yes, no, maybe. Being short 1 red kind of sucks. Figured that's the case. You want to trade your Tiny Bones? No, you don't. I do need to block here. It's worth noting. Makes it a little worse. Tiny Bones can cast my Screaming Nemesis now. Is a bit of a problem. We cast it again. Violent Urge. So I think I have to try to win through Violent Urge. So we're doing this, getting rid of you. Snakeskin. Snakeskin's good. Snakeskin, Violent Urge next turn. Tiny Bone's actually pretty nasty. We gotta try to combo kill him next turn. There's been a couple games now where I've been a little hampered on red. Hold the land for now, less information. Why is it nowhere to run? God, why is it nowhere to run? The worst option. Literally any other removal we're fine there. Oh my god. Oh my god, any other thing and we win. Yeah, so I definitely don't want Nemesis. Royal Treatment. Bolts. Ah! Curator seems pretty bad. 20. From a couple breakouts. From one more breakout, one more card to cut. 20 creatures. Probably Keen-Eyed. Probably Keen-Eyed. Much worse with nowhere to run. Nah, let's just get rid of breakout. Oh man, that was so frustrating. Literally anything else. Go for the throw, cut down. Because it shrunk our power, we couldn't kill, and it did that extra. I think it's worth the chance here. We have Cenote plus a draw step plus Patchwork in play. Obviously these are a little bad, but they can't kill this on one. Show me land. You know what? It wasn't an untapped land, but it was a land, so we'll take it. Ghost Vacuum is a bit annoying. Can I get it online? Not at this point. I just need to be able to get multiple cards in the yard per turn now. We already have instant here. Scorching Dragonfire can get rid of a Glissa. This will put pressure on us as the game goes long. Sentinel is fine. Three, not enough. May be able to outpace them. As they take out, hopefully, the instant here. They wisely to the sorcery. Us having 3 instants in hand's a little rough. Exile here. Gonna be tough. Needed, if we could have turned Delirium on that turn, it would have been really solid. So they don't really have like a clean, we have doubles of everything. Dragonfire here. Game of attrition. Gonna have to throw away a Violent Urge, I think. No, why did it tap like this? Trying to save me a life when a life doesn't matter. I mean, realistically, I'm never beating Gix Command, so I'm just gonna play as though they don't have it. I gotta try to kill them this turn. If they have it, they have it. Mind you, Gix Command doesn't even fully sweep here anyways. I do have the Restless Ridgeline. Opting to just take the damage. Cut down. We'll go for the... Go for the throat. Delirium partially achieved. It will be gone. And we've seen only 2 pieces of removal. Come on, give me multiple good things. I think protecting it here could be reasonable. This is a weird game. I might have to keep like a different... I mean, we've also just hit like a lot of instants. I might need to keep at least 1 sorcery with breakout. If they're showing vacuum, I might trim down on a beastie or 2. Mind you, beastie's kind of keeping us in this. I mean, they're not going to cut me off lands. So they should be taking creatures if they're not taking anything else, just for the value play. Do I try to go for it? Probably not. We're just gonna flood our graveyard. If they have Glissa, it's bad, but we take them off a line drop at least, and they were struggling to hit lands. This takes them off 1 more turn of Ghost Vacuum activation. I mean, that was a slog. The graveyard is going to be contested. Do I want... Could do Pick Your Poison, but they haven't really shown anything else. I don't love that. They do have Glissa. Maybe we do -1. I'm just gonna run it back. If they have it, they have it. Violent Urge, maybe on the play, trim a Violent Urge. My creature count, 20. Do 1 breakout. Like, I understand Violent Urge is my combo piece, but with nowhere to run, it becomes harder to protect. I think this is a mull. I'll keep this. I want to see another land there. Gonna do this. They had a pause, so they have cut down potentially. Whoa. Very least, this will get 2 removal spells out of them. And then I can break out... Oh, they're just going to activate. Maybe they have the Annex still? But the Thrun version doesn't play Annex. Unless it's like a variant. Resolving this is good. Them having Pulse there is disgusting. We stop with Lions. That would be really cool. Not quite Delirium yet. Just force here. We're flooding way too hard. I need them to just have 1 removal spell there. That's 7 lands that we've seen. Assuming their hand's a bunch of removal. I mean, if we could get Forge, maybe. East. I mean, 8 lands is going to get it to you. That's the way you're going to lose this game. They've managed to stick at 3 and then just find threat after threat. We've already hit a Witch Stalker too. Thing is that I need Witch Stalker Frenzy. Yeah, I'm just dead on board because I take that, so there's no... We flooded! We flooded, we flooded. So like that game 1, we were... Any card other than Nowhere to Run, we win that game. This game here, 9 lands. I can't really do much with when you hit 9 lands. When you're aggressive deck, it's 9 lands. Not the best. Alright, so I think the deck is solid. Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll be doing more runs over the weekend, so make sure to subscribe if you're looking for other decks. They're all on the video playlist. Thanks for watching.